I'm back. We're going for a massive work. See if I can take it in one, or I'll have to break for postages or postmans, barking dogs, fighting neighbors, racing cars in the street, or whatever. But I'm going to try to. I will take a sip of my drinky from time to time. I might sneeze, I might cough, I might do anything. But we start with row 9A. 9A. There it is, 9A. B goes to the front. I pick up my side stitch already, which I made in a previous row. I secure my yarn. The side stitch is already made, so it's 3DF, 2B, 2 times. I'm going to be a little bit faster now. 1. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit, so it has no problems with focusing. This is my little armrest, so my arms don't hurt too much. And I zoom out so I don't go out of the center of my camera that fast. Here I can move around a little bit more. It's a cluster of 3, 2 back. And then the repeat. 3 in the front. A cluster of 3 in the front. Chain 1. 2 B's. Double crochet, chain 1 in the back. Double crochet, chain 1 in the back, and then a cluster of 3, 2 ends, 1, 2, 3, 3, chain 1, finish my cluster, and a side stitch, a double crochet in the chain, 1, 2, 3, 4 for the next one, 2, 3, 4, and secure your work. See, it doesn't take too long, this. If I can secure my work there. I'm going to work with the background color. Oh, my stomach is growling. Stop growling, I'm taping, stomach. Well, be a little bit, what's the time? I don't know what the time is. Then we're going to do row 10B. I will mark my work. See, scratch off inside stitches at the front, which is correct, already made. 1B. 3DF. Now come up. I'm taping. 3 back. In the front. There's a cluster, 1 back, side stitch front, 2, 3, 4 for the next inside stitch back in the next row. It says turn your work. So we're going to turn our work, mark where I am, zoop, scratch it out. Row 11. B goes back, background color goes in the back of your work, side stitch already made, 3 of clusters, 3 solid window, back 3 dB, 1, 2, 3, 1 front, 3 dB 2 times, so a cluster of 3 2 times, that means 3 dB, 1, 2, 3, with a chain between the chain there, and then the next cluster of 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we did our repeat, and then 1 front, 1 front, and a cluster of 3 back here, 1, 2, 3, and a side stitch outside, so you take that outside side, it doesn't matter front, it's always on the outside, 1 2 3 and 4, and secure your work with a 2 small stitch marker in my case. Row 12B, inside side stitch is at the back, so that's correct. See, inside side stitch is already a back and already made. Inside side stitch, and then we start with front. 1 front, 1. A 3 dB, there's a cluster in the back of 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 front, cluster of 3 back, 1, 2, 3, 1 front, and an inside side stitch back. So we go over your work, pull that yarn through and make it at the back, and then 1 2 3 4, secure your yarn, didn't say that, I didn't say that, just get angry sometimes, and we turn your work there, and we did row 12B. 13A, that's B. It says background color hangs in the front, BF. Get all the yarn, taking a little zip. It says 3DF, back 2 twice. So we start with a cluster of 3 immediately in the front. 1, 2, 3, 2 back, 1, 2, cluster of 3 in the front, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, 2 back, last repeat of this one, 1, 2, 3DF again in the front, a cluster, so no chain in between, 1, 2, and 3, not in the chain, there, and your side stitch on the side, outside, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, secure your work, and 2 small stitch markers, so each time I need to stretch it. There. I'm going to do row 14B. Inside stitch is at the front, so let me check if that's correct. Yeah, it's hanging in the front, it's making a nice white line on the outside, and then we do 2 back, 1, 2, 3DF at the front, 1, 2, 3, 1 back, 3DF at the front, cluster of 3 in the front, 1, 2, 3, 1 back, no, 2 back, so even 2 back, and the inside stitch at the front, inside side stitch at the front, 1, 2, 3, 4. Not explaining the 4 anymore, did it already. Getting that yarn secured, and it says turn your work, so we're going to turn our work and not touch the video camera or the phone, which I tape always on. You can buy an expensive video camera, but it doesn't explain more or better, it's only more beautiful. Oops, there. Oh, sorry about that. I'm touching my camera again. We did 14B. We're going to do 15A. And that is the B background color is at the back. Side stitch is already made to front. One, 2, 1 back, 4 front, of course my hands were out of center. That's why I zoomed out, otherwise you only see the logo, which doesn't help. Back. To front. Let me see if I grabbed the right one, because I'm not sure. Yes, I did. Two fronts and side stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. There. I'm going to work with the background color. I'm going to sit a little bit better. Shift my chair so I know, mark my work. There. B, inside side stitch, inside side stitch. Scrabble word. I don't know if it exists, but I made it up. At the back, so that's correct. Already done. Then 3F. 3F. 1. 2. And 3. 5. A cluster of 5. Back of work. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then your chain 1. Cluster is finished. 3 fronts, 1, 2, 3, and then inside side stitch at the back. And a chain of 4. And secure your work. I've only got a few threads, but turn your work, it says. So turn and work, and we see already a pattern emerging, which is nice. And we continue with row 17. 17, color A, that's correct. B goes into the front, so front of work, that background color. Going to do a cluster of 3. 1, 2, 3, 2 in the front, 1, 2, 2 back, 2 front, and a cluster of 3 in the front, 1, 2, 3, side stitch, chain 4, secure your work. We're going to do 18B, inside side stitch at the front, already made, and it's hanging at the front, so that's correct. And it says 2B. One front, 3 back, one front, and 2 back. Inside side stitch at the front, need to make that one back again. Inside side stitch at the front, chain 4, secure your work with a 2 small stitch marker. Not grabbing all the yarn, grabbing all the yarn, and turn your work, which was almost already turned there. We're going to do row 19A in the A color there. Pure yarn. It says back, B is back. That's true, that's correct. Side stitch is already done, and then 5, a cluster of 5. One, 2, 3, 4, even number, so go through the window. 5, odd number, so it picks up, picks up, picks up, picks up. A double crochet, chain 1, a cluster of 7, 1, 2, even, 3, odd, 4, even, 5, odd, 6, even, 7, odd, cluster finished, chain 1, cluster of 5, 1, ooh, 5, 1, 2, through the window, 3, 4, even, going to the even stitch row below, 5, There's the end one, going into the double crochet of the previous row if I can get it through the yarn. There, my hook, and then a side stitch outside, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Secure the yarn and a 2 small stitch marker. Relax, relax, and breathe. There. Second last row, row number 20, in the back B collar. Inside stitch is inside side stitch is at the back. This is correct, already made, so we're going to start with 2 fronts. 2 fronts, 1 back, 3 fronts, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 1 back, 2 fronts, 1 and the inside side stitch at the back. There. I won't cut off my yarn. This is the last stitch done in the background color. I didn't pick them all. There. Because I'm going to reuse this yarn, I'm going to rip it out later. So just 1. Normally you can cut it off here and pull it tight and sew in your ends. Whatever you want to do already. I can't get it fixed. Yes, there. It says turn your work. So now normally you only have the orange, so it doesn't matter where this hangs anymore. You know, this yarn is finished. So, and see, this yarn is difficult to get back. That's why I do the 4. See, it's harder to get back behind the work if I needed to. And now it says 10 in the back. So that's number 1 here. And all at the odd ones. We all take the odd ones now. 1, 2 here, an odd one again. That was number 3 in the previous row. And again, get your hook in the odd solid window stitches of the previous row. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and 10. And the side stitch, the last one, and then you can cut your yarn off or make a small little border like from a previous tutorial. I just secure my work because I'm going to rip this out again and reuse the yarn. There, yay, under half an hour, yay. You see how quickly this little test is made, and this is the pattern. It's a simple pattern, you recognize it already. I use it for my later tutorials. As you see, solid. as solid as a house, except these 2 fours. That's the pattern, because sometimes I like to have a little window to peek through. Yay! Hope you enjoy this. Hope it helps you in your work. I mean, it'll be another free tutorial in my group and on my adiocrochet.com, which are my initials, ADO. I'll make that out there if you didn't know already. Okay, here it is, a little small square for you to enjoy, and the pattern is already existing in other techniques. Try them all, why not? It's there, and just see which one you prefer. And thank you for watching, and hope you have a lovely day, evening, night, morning, whatever. Bye all.